Okay, there's my sample website, which isn't the greatest looking website, but it's just an example. It's using the Hello theme by Elementor, and of course it's using Elementor plugin. What I want to do is I want to add a fourth page. I have home, I have portfolio, and I have contact. I want to add a resume page. So I've actually gone ahead and already created that page here in WordPress. So if I go ahead and click edit, and I did that, of course, by clicking add new and adding the name of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and once I go to that page and click edit with Elementor. Now inside edit with Elementor, as you can see, I still see the default header for WordPress. So I still see the default one for the Hello theme, which looks terrible in this case. I also have the name of the page here, so it really isn't what I want it to look like. So what I need to do right away is go ahead and fix this, remove this name, and start using the correct template. So I'm going to go down here to, I'm going to go down here to the settings button. And here's the title of the page, and here's the status. So I can go ahead and, of course, I can set it to published, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and click hide title, which removes that piece up here. And then I'm going to change the page layout to Elementor canvas, which removes the header and the footer from WordPress. So I just have a blank slate now, which is really nice to work with. And if I go ahead and create that header. I've done it before, but I'm going to go ahead and create one from scratch and show you how to save that as a template and then reuse that. I'm going to do the same thing with the footer. So I'm going to go click add new section. I want this section to have just two sides. So I want to have a left side where my logo is going to be, which for now is just going to be the name of my website, and then the right side for my navigation. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and that adds it here. Now I also want this to go all the way. I don't want it to be restricted. I want it to go all the way. So it's all the way over here, and my nav is all the way over here. So that's up to you. It's a design decision, but I would like it that way. So I'm going to change my content width to full width. Okay, which moves both of these over, and that's a good starting point. And then I'm going to grab this middle piece, just kind of move it over. I really don't need, much space for the website title, where I would want more space maybe for my navigation. So I'm going to come down, and I want to set a background color for this. So I'm going to just go background type, and for now I'm just going to go ahead and click classic, and pick a color. I have this kind of dark purple color that I already have saved. Perfect. I'm going to jump back over to all my sections, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a header to the side. And my header text is just going to say the name of my website. And of course, I can go ahead and customize my style really quickly. Maybe I want it to be something like this, and maybe I want the typography to be a little bit more interesting. Maybe about there. And that sounds good. And I'm going to jump back over here, and we've added the Elements Kit plugin. So make sure that's working. To make sure it's working in WordPress, under plugins, make sure that you do have Elements Kit. It's really important. It adds what we need. It's called Elements Kit Lite. If you don't have it, make sure to go add new. Just search for Elements Kit. And make sure you just click, it'll have a little install button, looks like that. Click install now, and then make sure you click activate. And once you do that, it'll add these pieces, because what we want to do is come all the way down here and grab this nav menu piece and drop that in here. Now, I have to choose which menu. So I'm going to click primary menu. I want to go ahead and align it to the right. And of course, this doesn't look right, so I'm going to go mobile. I'm going to go style. I can change the height of the menu. Maybe make it nice and narrow. Okay. I don't want to add a background or anything like that in this case. Spacing looks pretty decent. Menu item style. I'm going to go ahead and take item text color. Change it to white. Kind of blend it a little bit, which is nice. You can also change the typography. So maybe I don't want to use Roboto. Maybe I want to use, I don't think rock salt. Yeah, rock salt actually looks really pretty. Can adjust the size of it. And maybe adjust the weight. It doesn't have a lighter weight in this font, but that's fine. And I do want to maybe set, when I hover, the hover doesn't look great. Maybe I want the hover just to be white. So that's these three tabs here. So click hover. And I'm going to change it to full white. looks pretty good. And then active, so which page I'm currently on. Go ahead and set that to white as well. Actually, it does look good when it's darker. So the page that I'm on is actually darker, which is nice too. Very good. So that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and click update. So now I have a header up here. Maybe I just want it to be a little thicker if I want, but that actually looks pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing for footer. So the first thing I need to do is come in here and add a new section just to kind of space my website out. So I'm going to pretend like my website's sitting in this section. And for now, I'm just going to make this really tall. So I'm just going to say I want to change the height of this to be fit to screen. So it's going to bring it down here. So then that way it looks like there's something going on in the middle. And, you know, maybe as a template, just a placeholder, let's go ahead and we'll add a heading that just says, you know, resume here for now. Right, so I would put my resume on this part of the page. Coming down to the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and build myself a footer, and I'm going to do really the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and add it. I'm going to determine kind of what I want it to look like for layout. So let's say, for example, I want to do, you know, something really simple like full width. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little copyright. So I'm going to go full width again to match my header. I'm going to change the background again to be classic, and maybe I'll do this time. Maybe I'll pick my purple color, but then modify it just to be like a really light version of it, of the purple color. And then, very good. And then maybe I'll come in here and I can add my social links. So Elements Kit also comes with social links, which look pretty nice. They're all the way at the bottom here, around here somewhere, to just find them quickly. There it is, social icons. So I can go ahead and drop my social icons in here. And you just simply set, you have to set, you know, obviously where they go. So I edit one at a time. But let's say for the example, that's all I want. And then I just want a little thing that says copyright. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little text editor. And center it. I always forget where they put center. Oh yeah, in the text editor, I think it's all built in, is it not? Toggle toolbar. There we go. And center. Perfect. And we can just go, you know, copy 2020. All rights reserved. Perfect. Nice and simple. And maybe I just want to make this, there we go. You know, actually come in style, and we can just go ahead and do type text color. Let's go black and fade it out a little bit. And let's go typography and just make it a little smaller. Yeah, something like 12 is probably fine. And then maybe we just want to do rock salt just for fun, because that's what we do for fun here. So that looks pretty good for a footer situation. So what I want to do for this then is I want to go ahead and click this middle button, making sure that I'm selecting the entire thing. And I just want to right click on it, and I want to go save as template. Now this is really important. This is going to add it to here. So I can say this is going to be my footer. I've already created another header that I've used for that. But let's say, for example, I want to create it as my footer. Okay, so actually I already had created one as well on November 11th. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that one because we have our new footer here. Perfect. Now, when I go ahead and I want to edit another page, and by the way, the quickest way to do that, always make sure you click update first. But the quickest way to get to another page without having to go all the way back to WordPress is go ahead and click this hamburger menu here and go click Finder. And this is really cool. And you can actually type in. So for example, if I wanted, I know I have another page called Cat World, Event for Cat World page. So if I go to this Event for Cat World page, okay, I've already added a header to this, but I don't have my footer. So what I want to do is I want to add my footer to this page. And this page actually has a dark background instead, so it looks a little bit different. But I'm going to go ahead, I can still just the same. I'm going to go ahead and click this Add Template button. And at the top, I'm going to go ahead and click My Templates. And there's my footer, and I'm just going to click Insert. And it says, do you want to also import the document settings of the template? Now, the document settings are going to change my background color to match the page that it came from. So I know that my original page had white background. So in this case, I do not. But there might be a time when I do. Maybe I've set up a lot of document settings, like different fonts and all that kind of stuff. So I might want to click yes. But in this case, I'm going to click no, just so I can get that footer. And there's my footer there. As you can see, I can't see it It's really hard to see. So I might just have to modify the colors just because my background on this website is dark, right? So I might have to come in here, of course, and select each of these and just make them white, just because this page does have a dark background. But other than that, and I might want to do the same thing for here, come into style, and just go ahead and make this white text. It's going to remember, but maybe I want to fade it out a little bit, but it doesn't matter. And there we go. And if I go ahead, maybe again, I want to click this section here. And just for now, I want to go ahead and min height this. Fit to screen this. And click update. And then that way I can preview these pages and it'll tell me, it'll show me exactly how good this is going to look. So if I go ahead and click the preview changes button, we can now see here's our footer that we've added to this page down here. And here's my new resume page. As you can see, it uses the slightly different header that we built. But it also has the nice footer at the bottom. So you can start building out these sections that kind of share the same, right? So the footer is the same here, which is really nice. The other thing that I wanted to show you is an issue that's very common. I'm going to go over to Site Settings. Now, of course, we can go ahead and we can make sure that our global colors are all set. This is how we're going to set. That's where I got that purple color from. You can go ahead and add your own colors and then and delete them. And then that way, when you go ahead and add things, you can grab from there. Global fonts, that's, you can set up what your primary font is. That's why it kept defaulting to Roboto when I go ahead and add a title, but maybe actually I do want to make sure that's rock salt every time, right? And this is part of the site settings, so that's pretty cool. The other thing that I want to do is show you a common issue. So let's go back again. It's just saving. There we go. And oops. And we're going to go exit to dashboard. Let's get out of Elementor for a second. So a common issue when people are editing their website is when they go back to their homepage ends up being a blog instead of their homepage that they've then set up. So all you got to do to fix that is if you come down to appearance and then go to customize, and you go click on homepage settings. That's just making sure that instead of it being your latest posts, that you're selecting a static page. And then under a static page, you're making sure that you're selecting your homepage and then going ahead and hit publish. If you do still want to run a blog, that's fine. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have a blog page. So for example, I could click add blog and it'll set the blog as the homepage. And it previews what it looks like. Right now it looks like terrible because it's not using Elementor, but I do have now a page I can use if I wanted to as my blog, which is good. So if I come back here, let's see if it auto adds it. It should auto add it. Yep. So if I go ahead and go to blog, it has my first post, which is Hello World. Now I'm going to have to, of course, edit all of this so that it looks like the rest of my website so it doesn't look terrible, but I assume most people aren't running a blog. So good. If you do have any questions about the blog part, if you do want to run a blog, that's something we can definitely review. Just let me know. So that's it. So that's essentially how you go ahead and you create shared elements. Again, we added that to our resume page, and we also added it to our portfolio under the Cat's World. We have our Cat World page here. So we added, that footer down here that's shared. It's nice too because I changed my primary font, so it actually changed all of my headers to match, which is nice. So they all use pretty much the same. This one's just has a different opacity and different sizing, but it's looking pretty good. I think everything's starting to come together. It's not the fanciest looking website, of course, but the point is that we can start building out these shared sections. All right, that's it.